Special Bulletin. Storm Erin. From current conditions to long-term scenarios. Tropical storm Erin to become hurricane in days. Dangerous beach conditions likely in Caribbean. Good evening, viewers. This is a special weather bulletin. Reporting live from the Meteorological Forecast Center. Today, we bring you the latest updates on Tropical Storm Erin, a weather system moving across the Atlantic with signs that it may develop into a strong hurricane in the coming days. The international meteorological community is closely monitoring Erin, as it carries many uncertainties and could change both in intensity and track rapidly. Tropical Storm Erin is expected to start to gain strength starting on Wednesday and will likely become a hurricane either Thursday or Friday. The NHC said the center of Tropical Storm Erin is forecast to move near or just north of the northern Leeward Islands over the weekend. Tropical Storm Erin on track to become 2025 Atlantic hurricane season's first major hurricane. Tropical Storm Erin is continuing to become better organized and is expected to become a hurricane soon. And forecasters say it could strengthen into a major hurricane as it spins closer to the Caribbean. Fox Weather meteorologists Britta Merwin and Craig Herrera have the latest details on August 13, 2025. At present, Erin remains at tropical storm strength, moving westward at about 35 km per hour toward the central Atlantic. Satellite imagery shows a relatively compact swirl of clouds with a defined center. But without the fully developed structure of a mature hurricane. This means the storm is still in the process of reorganizing and consolidating convection, the formation of large thunderstorms rotating around its core. Current environmental conditions play a critical role. A subtropical high-pressure system to the north is steering Erin westward, acting like a wall of air pressure, forcing the storm along this path. Aloft, wind shear is moderate, not strong enough to tear the storm apart, but still restraining rapid development. Additionally, a weakness in the high-pressure ridge may develop in the coming days, which could allow Erin to turn northward when influenced by troughs from higher latitudes. Another factor affecting Erin is the presence of mid-level dry air. This acts like a cap that blocks moisture and continuous convection. On infrared satellite images, we can clearly see patches of dry air surrounding parts of the storm, particularly to the west and southwest of the center. This explains why convection has not yet wrapped fully around the core and why no eye has formed. According to the latest data from the National Hurricane Center, NHC, Erin's central pressure is 1.060 MB, much higher than that of a strong hurricane, indicating the storm is still relatively weak. Sustained winds are at 72 km per hour, with higher gusts within rainbands. The current track remains westward at about 35 km per hour. However, conditions ahead, including warmer waters and higher humidity, could help Erin strengthen quickly over the next 48 to 72 hours. Forecasts suggest Erin could reach Category 1 hurricane status by early Friday, strengthen to Category 2 by Friday evening, and possibly become a major Category 3 hurricane by Sunday. If this scenario plays out, sustained winds could exceed 178 km per hour, generating seas 6 to 9 meters high and producing widespread heavy rainfall, especially in areas near or within its track. European ECMWF model analysis shows Erin steadily intensifying through Sunday, with central pressure dropping to around 970 MB, equivalent to a Category 2 to 3 hurricane. The storm is then projected to turn northward, away from the Caribbean and into the warm waters of the North Atlantic. If favorable conditions persist, particularly low wind shear and abundant moisture, Erin could reach Category 4 or higher by Tuesday, with one possible scenario bringing it near Newfoundland. Meanwhile, the USGFS model paints a different picture: slower intensification, an earlier northward turn, and a track east of Bermuda. This would reduce the risk of direct land impacts but still produce dangerous seas across the North Atlantic, affecting shipping and offshore fishing operations. Ensemble forecasts from ECMWF and the Euro AI system display a range of possible tracks. A few take Erin closer to the Caribbean, but most curve out to sea before entering high-risk zones. While track forecasts differ, Nearly all scenarios project Erin reaching strong hurricane status in its later stages. Most models currently agree that Erin will turn between Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. The reason it has not intensified rapidly so far is the mid-level dry air, which limits deep convection around the core. However, if in the coming days an upper-level anticyclone, ULAC, forms directly over Erin, combined with stronger atmospheric outflow, the storm will have a more efficient moisture intake and heat release mechanism. This could trigger a surge in intensification, especially if Erin moves into an area of high ocean heat content, OHC. OHC measures not only surface heat but also warmth stored in deeper waters. In the region Erin is heading toward, high OHC means the storm can churn the ocean without cooling the surface layer quickly, allowing it to sustain or even accelerate strengthening. Erin's future track will depend heavily on the interaction between the subtropical ridge and high-latitude troughs. If the ridge remains strong, Erin will travel farther west before turning north. If the ridge weakens or develops a gap, the storm could recurve earlier, passing east of Bermuda. Strong hurricanes often respond sharply to such weaknesses in the ridge, meaning if Erin intensifies quickly, the turn could be sharper. While most models lean toward an out-to-sea solution, experts caution that forecast uncertainty remains high, and even a small change in timing or intensification rate could alter the track significantly. This is why continuous monitoring and frequent updates are essential. Miami. Hurricane hunters are getting set to fly into Tropical Storm Erin to gather more information on the system's development after forecasters say it's set to become the first major hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. This comes after the system left several people dead, including children, in the Cabo Verde Islands off the coast of Africa. The National Hurricane Center, NHC, said maximum sustained winds within Tropical Storm Erin have held steady at 45 miles per hour. However, forecasters say Tropical Storm Erin is expected to start to gain strength starting on Wednesday and will likely become a hurricane either Thursday or Friday. Tropical Storm Erin is located about 1.400 miles to the east of the northern Leeward Islands and is moving off to the west at 20 miles per hour. The NHC said that general motion is expected to continue into Thursday, with a west-northwestward motion starting Thursday night and continuing into the weekend. On that forecast track, the NHC said the center of Tropical Storm Erin is forecast to move near or just north of the northern Leeward Islands over the weekend. When it does, forecasters say it could be a major hurricane, Category 3 or higher, with winds of at least 115 miles per hour. Interests in the northern Leeward Islands, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico should monitor the progress of Erin. The NHC said, swells generated by Tropical Storm Erin are expected to begin impacting portions of the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico by this weekend. Those swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions at local beaches. We will continue to track Erin hour by hour and provide the latest updates in tomorrow morning's bulletin. Residents in areas that could be indirectly affected, such as Bermuda, Newfoundland, and the eastern seaboard of North America, should remain vigilant, follow official information, and ensure disaster preparedness plans are in place.